All right, we're diving into a really huge, really tough ethical question today. Where should we focus our energy? I mean, should we put all our effort into fixing the very real problems people are facing right now, or should we be thinking about the incredible potential of humanity's distant future?
Yeah, that's the core dilemma right there, isn't it? Do we owe more to the 8 billion people alive today, people with names, faces, and immediate struggles? Or is our greater responsibility to the trillions of humans who might one day exist, but only if we make sure they get a chance to?
So to even begin to unpack that, we've got to get our heads around the philosophy that's asking the question in the first place. It's called Longtermism, and it's all about stretching our moral imagination way, way out across time.
Basically, what it boils down to is this. The future could be unbelievably long and filled with an almost unimaginable number of people. So, the argument goes, making sure that future is a good one, or that it even happens at all, might just be the most important moral mission we have today. Now, this whole idea rests on a really powerful concept known as temporal impartiality. And this quote from the philosopher Henry Sidgwick nails it. Think about it this way. We generally agree that someone suffering on the other side of the planet matters, right? Their physical distance doesn't make their pain less real. Well, long-termists apply the same logic to time. They say, why should someone's distance in time make their life any less valuable? A person's well-being is what counts, whether they're alive now or in the year 3024.
Okay, so what's the actual case for this? Why should we really care, maybe even care most, about all these people we'll never, ever meet?
Well, it really comes down to one word: scale. The numbers are just staggering. If we as a species can avoid wiping ourselves out and actually manage to flourish, maybe even travel to the stars, the number of potential human lives is, well, it's astronomical. We're talking about trillions, not billions, trillions.
And to really get a sense of what that means, just look at this comparison. You take every single human who has ever walked the Earth. That's about 117 billion people. Now, stack that up against the number of people who could live in the future. It's not even close. Everyone alive today and everyone who has ever lived before us, we're just a tiny, tiny fraction of the whole potential human story. So if you accept that staggering scale, the conclusion feels almost logical. It means that tackling existential risks, the big, scary things that could end humanity for good, like a supervolcano, a rogue AI, or a global pandemic far worse than anything we've seen, becomes priority number one. Because think about it, preventing our extinction is the one thing we have to do to unlock all that future potential. It's the ultimate high-leverage action.
But okay, you can probably already feel the tension here, right? It's a pretty uncomfortable thought, because what about everyone who is suffering right here, right now? Where do they fit into this picture?
And this is where the rubber really meets the road. Let's say you have $1 million to do good. Do you spend it on, say, clean water projects that you know will save 1,000 children's lives this year? You can see the result. Or do you invest that same money into AI safety research that might, just might, slightly lower the odds of a catastrophe 200 years from now? One is certain and immediate, the other is speculative and distant.
So yeah, the whole case for prioritizing the present really hinges on certainty. The suffering happening today is real. It's tangible. We can see it, and in many cases, we know exactly how to help. The future, on the other hand, is a giant question mark. And critics of long-termism worry that if we get too obsessed with a far-off hypothetical future, we risk turning our backs on the very real injustices happening right under our noses. And that core tension isn't the only hurdle. Long-termism as a philosophy has a bunch of other pretty serious critiques. And these are some really tough questions to answer. I mean, seriously, how could we possibly know what future generations will need or what they'll even value? Could focusing so much on abstract future risks give us a kind of moral tunnel vision? And maybe most importantly, who gets to be in charge? Who decides what the best long-term future even looks like? It's a real worry that in trying to be the architects of a distant utopia, we could cause a lot of harm right now.
So that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? Do we have to choose? Is it an all-or-nothing game, or is there some common ground? Can we find a way to care about today and tomorrow? Well, the good news is, a lot of people are arguing that, no, it's not a zero-sum game. The best way forward might not be about choosing one over the other, but about looking for solutions that help us now and also set up a better future. And this is where things get really practical and, frankly, pretty hopeful. Think about these win-win situations. When we fight climate change, we get cleaner air and a healthier environment right now, and we safeguard the planet for future generations.
When we invest in pandemic preparedness, we prevent outbreaks today and we build the systems to stop a future existential plague. It's all about finding those dual benefit actions.
Now, to tackle that really powerful criticism about uncertainty, the whole how can we know problem, a more refined idea has come along called robust long-termism. And the core idea here is to just stop trying to predict the distant future with perfect clarity. Instead, let's focus on things that will almost certainly be good, no matter what kind of future unfolds.
So instead of placing all our bets on one specific vision of what the future should be, this approach is more about building a really solid foundation. It's about making humanity smarter, more cooperative, and more resilient so we can handle whatever challenges come our way. For example, improving how we make decisions as a society, well, that's going to help future people solve problems we can't even imagine yet. It's less about picking a single destination and more about building a better, stronger ship for the long journey ahead. Okay, so where does all this leave us? Right here, right now. Well, this whole debate, which can feel super abstract, actually has huge implications for us today.
Here's the thing. We are living in a truly unique and pivotal moment in history. When you think about things like artificial intelligence, climate change, genetic engineering, the decisions we make in our lifetimes could have consequences that ripple out for thousands, maybe even millions of years. We just happen to be the generation with an incredible amount of leverage over humanity's long-term future.
And that leaves us with a pretty profound question to chew on. When future historians, if there are any, look back at our time, what will they say? Will we be remembered as the generation that focused on the urgent, immediate problems we could see right in front of us? Or will we be the one that secured the very possibility of a future for those trillions of people to come? Or, and this is the real challenge, can we be the generation that was wise enough to figure out how to do both?